So today I'm going to talk about how you can make sunflower sprouts. Um, this is one of the cheapest and easiest things to do if you want to just have some greens to eat in the middle of winter and you want to grow them yourself. It's really unproblematic and cheap. I bought a 5-pound bag of seed meant for birds. It was organic and not GMO and all that. I, tried to find good stuff. And they're black oil or black sunflower seeds. And I guess it's important to get those uh, because that's what when I studied this on the internet, that's what I found. So anyway, I got those on Amazon, but you could probably go to maybe a local store, outdoor store or something, and get some sunflower seeds for birds. And as long as they're black and they don't have that white stripe in them, you should be good to go. So I I guess my motivation for this is that I want to get by in the winter buying as little as I possibly can from the grocery store of a non-local nature, and I just want to see how much I can do in my own home uh, to supplement my diet with really good healthy stuff. And this seemed really super easy. I have a friend who's grown a lot of microgreens, so that was a major inspiration for me to do the same. And these sunflower seeds are the easiest thing in the world, and they really have turned out to be. So the first thing you do is you soak about a quarter cup of the sunflower seeds in water overnight or for as much as 24 hours, just to kind of loosen up the hulls. Just soak them in a cup of water. And then you fill a pie plate up. Glass pie plates are great, or you can use something else, but these worked out really well for me. With just a little bit of soil. As you can see, it's kind of like, as you'll see in this video, it's not even an inch worth of soil because they're not going to be growing in there for very long. So you put the soil in the pie pan, and then you sprinkle the wet sunflower seeds on top. You don't have to bury them in soil or anything. You wet the soil down really good, and you put another pie plate on top, and you kind of squeeze down and then invert them so that you can get the excess water out. So just kind of pour the excess water out, and then basically you put that with the pie plate on top into a closet, or I like to put them just under a towel, something that's dark, so that basically the sprouts can start growing in a way that mimics the natural way they would grow under the soil, pushing up against something kind of hard. And not being in the light, they're trying really hard to grow and get up to the light, so that makes them longer and more tender. So that's your first step. And probably they're going to be, I would say, like 2 to 3 days under that towel or in that closet before you move on to the next step. When they're about, like a half an inch to an inch tall, you can remove them from that, take off the top pie plate, and put them in the sunlight. Okay, so I put the sunflower seeds into this pie pan, I think 3 days ago. And you're supposed to cover it up from the light until they reach a certain height. So you can see that they're now pushing up on the pie pan about a quarter of an inch. And I remember hearing from a video I watched that I'm supposed to wait until they've pushed the pie pan up about an inch before I take it off and take the towel off. And that's supposed to make them grow longer and be more tender, I guess. So anyway, that's like I'd say day 3 of putting them into the pie pan with soil. Before that, I had them for about a half a day soaking in water. So this is the next day, and I think one side is growing faster than the other. One side's up about an inch, so I think I'm going to just go ahead and take off the top pie plate. And now, supposedly, I can put this in front of, like the window, which would be my sliding glass doors. And then like 1 or 2 more days, they should be ready. I think I'm going to water them a bit. Okay, so this is something like the 6th day. Okay, so it took a little bit more time for them to grow than I thought it would. And this would be maybe like 2 days later. And they still had a ways to go. And one of the things that I found was that the seeds cling to them for a long time. And even at the end, you have to pull some of them off. But, you know, you can see that they're getting really green. So a couple of days later, you can see that basically they're getting pretty thick and pretty tall. You have to water them at least once a day, if not twice at this point, because they're sucking up the water really fast. And you want to have these in a sunny spot so they'll really get nice and green. But they're doing really well, and there's no mold or anything. So basically, when they look good enough for you and you're willing to put up with the fact that you're still going to have to pull a few seeds off, you can go ahead and take your scissors and basically do a haircut and clip them off close to the soil, and just gather them. They'll keep in the fridge for maybe 4 days or more, but they probably won't last that long. They're really mild. They kind of have a nutty flavor. They're good alone, just to snack on, or you can put some salad dressing on them, or create a whole salad with them. But they're quite tasty and mild. And by the way, after you're done, you can see how many roots are left at the bottom. So, like, you're not going to be able to just use that soil over again very easily at all. But I would highly recommend that you just start a compost pile, or if you have a compost bin, you can use that, or just, you know, find a place in your backyard where you start putting your material like this, clippings and cuttings and stuff from your yard, but also vegetable hulls and pretty much anything other than cooked stuff and meat, I would say, could go into your compost pile. Definitely this can, because compost needs to have some soil mixed into it anyway, and this is great because it's got roots, it's got all sorts of vegetable material mixed into it. So, you know, just dump it into your compost pile. The next year maybe you'll have like soil from the compost pile that you can use again. But anyway, it's not a waste. Just put it in there. You'll eventually get something good out of it. So that's the end. Enjoy. I hope that you do this. It's not hard at all. Super, super easy. And it's fun, and they're tasty. And it's a way of saving some money, a way of getting healthier food, and, you know, maybe not wasting so much. Bye. See you next time.